Hi, and welcome back to Star Conflict Tutorials. Today we'll discuss the competitive PvP aspect of the game, the League and weekly tournaments. Star Conflict League, or SCL, is the competitive mode of the game. It pits two teams of 5 people against each other in a Capture the Beacons match. It's pretty simple. In order to win, you have to capture 3 beacons of the opposing team while also protecting your own beacons. Other options include destroying all enemy ships, scoring more points, or capturing more beacons in the course of the fight. Remember, beacons are of paramount importance. If, at the end of the match, it turns out that you captured 1 measly beacon more than the enemy, you win, even if at this point your team consists of only 1 half-destroyed piece of space junk. It is also worth keeping in mind that in the League, every ship can be used only once. If it is destroyed, there's no way you can fly it again. To be eligible for League fights, you need only to have at least 3 ships of the 11th rank, and to be a part of a squad that has at least 4 other players. No space Rambos here, it takes a team to win the fight. To create a new team, click League, then find the big yellow button. Now, all that's left is to come up with a name and find 4 other pilots. If you don't want to bother creating your own team and searching for teammates, there's always the option of joining a team that already exists. Just ask in the chat. Attention, the fight takes place during specific hours. Look them up in advance. The SCL allows you to complete 2 daily contracts that give you monocrystals and loyalty vouchers. The contract for beginners is very easy. You just have to get at least 15 efficiency points in a single battle. That's just taking down 1 beacon drone, by the way. The second contract is only available to pilots belonging to top teams. If you want League to be something more than just a steady, albeit small, stream of monocrystals and loyalty vouchers, you'll have to acquire rank 15 ships and become really good at gameplay. What ships to take? What tactics to employ? Well, the truth is that when you have 5 ships per team, there are way too many viable compositions, but we'll give you some general advice and discuss a few tactics that worked pretty well during previous seasons. First and foremost, you simply cannot go wrong with an engineering frigate. Ideally, you should always have one in the team. The rest of the roster depends on your playstyle and strategies you favor. For example, if you want to excel at capturing enemy beacons, get a lot of fast and nimble interceptors. Recon interceptors with holograms being your best bet. It is also a good idea to bring 1 or 2 ECM interceptors equipped with system hacks. They will be very handy at hacking enemy stations and dealing with gravitational anomalies. This composition works very well if direct approach isn't your cup of tea. You can also get a more balanced squad built around a few gunship fighters. Throw in an engineer, an interceptor, and 1 extra ship that will work best on any given map. This team excels at holding the center of the map. Capture the sides with your interceptors. Then, when the enemy sends more than 1 ship to deal with it, it's time to strike. Use your numerical superiority to crush all opposition and ideally to take the central beacon. The third option is to go all heavy. Take a couple of long-range frigates, preferably with different special abilities, an engineering frigate, and an ECM interceptor and a tackler fighter, or a destroyer. This kind of setup works wonders when you are fighting on maps that have little to no cover. If you get a map with lots of obstacles and hiding spots, try to lure enemies into open areas where your long-range frigates can make short work of them. We have to say that this setup is very reliant on the sniping skills of the pilots that fly long-range frigates, and the well-timed use of stasis. A few words of advice. At the start of the match, protect the central beacon at all costs. Do whatever needs to be done to keep it safe. The other beacons can and will most likely be lost. Don't spread yourself too thin. This is the road to ruin. Self-destructing can be a viable tactic. It's something you might use when, for example, the enemy team is all small, nimble ships and your machine is outfitted with guns designed for taking down big, slow targets. Keep the engineering frigates safe. If it is impossible, make the other team sweat. This should never be a cakewalk for your opponents. Remember, the matchmaker won't make it easy for you just because you're new. Expect some tough fights from the get-go. By winning matches, you will steadily climb the league ladder. When you eventually get to the top, you will join the ranks of the Baron's Elite. That's basically all you need to know to get started in the league. Now let's talk about something a bit more novice-friendly, the weekly tournaments. These tournaments usually have 3 stages, and this time you're facing your opponents in a good old team battle. Nice and simple. The goal is to destroy a required number of enemy ships before the time runs out. If both teams fail to do so, the team with more frags is declared winner. Every time you win, you get some galactic standards, the premium currency of the game. What is also nice is that if you lose, you do not get the boot. On the contrary, you keep on fighting against other teams that had lost a fight. If you want to take a crack at it, the tournaments can be found in the very same window where you chose a game mode. Just keep in mind that, just as with the League, tournaments are available only at certain hours. Just hover your cursor over the tournament icon to see when the next one is. In order to participate, you have to fly a rank 7, rank 8, or rank 9 ship, but there's no need for a team. In fact, solo queue is a viable option. The matchmaker will make sure that you get a team of players that are more or less in the same league as you. Want to go solo? You need at least 2 ships. The first should be your best bet, the ship that you're really good with. The second should be, yes, you're absolutely right, an engineering frigate. Even if that's not your strongest suit. At times, you will find yourself on the team with not a single engineer in sight. And trust us, you don't want to be completely engineerless. Yes, it can be done, but making your life way harder in the process. The last slot is a good place for a long-range ship of your liking. This is it for this episode. See you in space.